Let's go back, if we could, a little bit with your parents, immigrants, like you said, from Germany, from Greece, because you spoke to an important point that really America and the world needs to hear, and that is that communism, socialism does not work.
It's evil.
Yeah.
And people don't know how evil it is. They have no clue. Americans, you know what? We're so blessed, we're naive. We're spoiled and we're naive.
We are,
We have no idea how people around the world suffer. And we have no idea the blessing that we have in this country of freedom. Most people don't really quite know what that is. I didn't growing up, because you just think, oh, well, I'm swimming in it. It's like, I don't even know what it is. It just seems normal. It's not normal. My mother and father both taught me growing up to despise communism, to understand what it was. My mother grew up in Germany. And after the war, what happened to the part of Germany she was in? Well, the Russians got it. And so it became East Germany. So it became communist. And my mother remembers when she was in high school, the propaganda in high school was so horrible, she chose to escape at age 17.
Wow.
She left, she got into the West. It's a crazy story, but she made me understand what it was. And my father grew up in Greece, and after the war in Greece, what happened, they had a civil war with the communists. And so they both made me understand this. And then, we'd be talking about the Soviet Union growing up, and they just explained it to me. And then when I went to Germany with my mom, and we went into what was still East Germany, I remember as a 7-year-old in the train, looking out and seeing the border, seeing all this barbed wire and soldiers and German shepherds, and you start thinking, wow, this is scary. They're trying to keep people in. And I realized that most Americans don't have the benefit of really understanding how bad it can get. They don't understand that when you move down the path of socialism, big government telling you what to do, if you do not stand up for your freedoms, you will drift in that direction, and eventually it will be too late. Most Americans are not aware of where it can go. And
what is a working definition of socialism?
Well, I mean, I think
especially millennials watching.
It all depends. I think the point is that what we didn't really learn in school, like they sort of stopped teaching in the 60s or 70s, but is that self-government is not normal. To have this kind of freedom is not normal. What's normal is to have somebody telling you how to live, some strongman dictator, tyrant, whatever it is, or a bureaucracy. To be free, to govern ourselves, first of all, you really need the Lord for that. Because in other words, for me to do the right thing without being forced, why would I do that? Well, because I believe it's right, because I have virtue. Well, why? Because I answer to a higher authority. I don't steal, I don't cheat. Why? Because I fear God. I don't fear man. And so if you have a nation of people who have bought into that culturally, even if they're not born again, or if you have a nation that buys into that, we can govern ourselves. So that needs to be taught, and that's what freedom is, where you'd say, well, we're totally free, and we only have government for those things that I can't do on my own. We have gotten a bureaucracy, this is when the government gets out of control, where parents are sending their kids to school, they're paying tax dollars to pay for the school, and the kids are being taught not only not what you want them to know, but things antithetical to what you teach them in your home. And this is the kind of thing, when the government gets bigger and bigger, people need to say, no, we're free, we're gonna do what we choose to do, and we're at a point in America where we have to fight back. And people say, well, I don't wanna fight. Well, if you don't fight, your kids and your grandkids are gonna fight, so you better step up. When you're in socialism, you are already drifting towards communism, without any question. There's just no question,